Happy New Year and welcome back to Craig and Them. Thank you guys so much for continuing to join me every week. My guest today is a young woman I met several years ago as we both pursued our master's degree in counseling. Since then, she has gone on to start a successful modeling career, which has included the opportunity to appear at New York's Fashion Week and recently launched a perfume fragrance called Unbreakable. I'm excited to have her on to discuss her burgeoning career as a model, entrepreneur, and to see what other areas this multi-talented woman has been breaking into. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ms. Valentine.
Hi, hello everyone. Yes, I'm excited. Craig, it's been a while.
It has been. It has been. I think the last time I actually spoke to you was at graduation, probably.
I know, right? And I'm like, I follow you on social media and stuff. So it's like, I get to see the family pics and you guys are growing. I said, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
So I'm just excited to be able to, have this time to kind of catch up and talk about what's going on, with me and with you, everything.
Yeah, it's great. Like you said, I've been following you on social media, so I've seen as your kind of modeling career has started, and I'm like, okay, Deshaun, what you doing, girl? Look at her, Miss Valentine.
Yeah, definitely not what I got the degree in, but okay.
Right, but I was like, okay, I see what you're doing there. So, with that being said, how did modeling become something you wanted to do, and how did you get started?
Okay, so I at first I started when I was in my teens, and then I kind of ran into a scam. So it was like, oh no, you kind of get into that feeling where you don't know who to trust and who's really out for the best interest of you and not just trying to get money out of your pocket or your parents. So I was like, okay, I think I got scammed when I was probably about 16, 17. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and continue with the college route and not worry about this. So later on down the line, I believe it's 2014, I needed another hobby and outside of work and something else to do. And I was, building my confidence back up. And at the time I was married and I just had to realize, okay, I need something to do outside of this, outside of my hubby. And modeling came about. So I was believe it or not, I was scrolling on Groupon and I'm like, I'm just going to book me a photo shoot. I'm going to do it. So I did. And wow, it was amazing. I ended up booking through, I believe it was Del Mar Media. And I ended up linking up with a actual professional celebrity photographer named Virgil Odell.
Mm-hmm.
And that it just kind of took off from there. I did the photo shoot with him. He was very impressed. He was very motivating and encouraging. And he was just like, yeah, you got it. You got what it takes. Do it. Let's go further. So I was like, if he says it, that was definitely a confidence booster for me. I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I started an online profile, Model Mayhem, and was real skeptical at first, but I started doing time for print photo shoots and everything like that. So it really wasn't costing me anything but the time and travel to get there. Mm-hmm. And I started linking up and meeting a lot of different photographers. And it just kind of blossomed and bloomed to something great from there.
That's awesome.
To magazine publications and Fashion Week. And I was like, So, you see where self-confidence and some bravery can get you.
Yeah. So,
but I always tell people, make sure you're safe.
Right.
Take somebody with you. You don't just meet up with anybody or, believe everything somebody sends you in an email or on a profile. You always want to make sure, you're being smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, speaking of that, talk a little bit about what happened when you got scammed. What happened there when you were a teenager?
Okay. So basically, I went to a casting call and everything, and they were like, oh, okay. Had everybody audition, and it seemed like it was going well. And then when they pretty much came back out to say who made the cut and who didn't, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, everybody made it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I did all this and just for you to tell us everybody made it. Right. So then here comes all the handbooks books and everything else. And they're basically telling you, so now you need to start a portfolio. Guess what, guys? We have our own photographers. We have our own people that we deal with in network. It's only going to cost you about $300 per photo shoot, but you got it. Your parents, they believe in you. It was one of those things where it's like, wait a minute. Where at what point do I get compensated? You know, or when are you really gonna put me on TV? You see, you can get me on Disney, you know. So it just started like a lot of things did not make sense. And I was just like, no, I was, you know, at that age, I can't afford over $300 per photo shoot.
Right.
And I'm not asking my mom, you know, for that, my parents. I mean, I need to be thinking more about college and what I'm really going to do long term. So yeah, that's how they got you. Oh, you did. Everybody did great. And yeah, this is just a booklet about this thick of all the fees and everything else that's going to get you to the top. And it's like, nah. Model classes, the whole 9 yards, which it was just like they were not paying or covering anything. Everything was out of pocket.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Well, I'm glad you didn't let that deter you like for too long. I'm glad you were able to kind of come back around and come full circle with that. That's
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. It took some confidence, but I was like, okay.
Right. So tell us about New York Fashion Week. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, Craig, that was so exciting. I have pictures and everything on my website, Shauna Miss Valentine, MZ Valentine.com. It was like one of the most amazing experiences. At first, I was so nervous. It was my first time there. And it's like, oh man, you see all these beautiful people and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit that runway. And it's like one of those things where you just have to like take everything in. Everything's moving so fast, you know, so as much as you want to take in, you also like, okay, what do you need me to do? You're looking at the designers. Okay, this is what I'm wearing. This is what I'm changing to. So it's like, you have to get in rotation with so much that's going on and just try to embrace the madness, the beautiful madness that's about it. But by the time I hit the runway, I tell you, like all the nerves and the jitters and the doubt, I left it behind. Once I hit that runway, it was, come on, let's go. And I am, you know, you realize, okay, I'm here. It's not only to showcase how I can walk, how I can, you know, slay the runway. I'm also here, you know, to sell these garments because I want to make these designers some money so that if ever, you know, another show comes up or whatever, they'll hit me up like, yeah, I remember she sold that, you know, her walk and everything. She showcased that my design and she got that outfit sold. So that's always my goal when I hit the runway. I want to make these designers money, and also I want to, you know, put myself out there to show me like this is what I can do. But I was nervous as I don't know what. I was like, what am I doing? You know, young girl from VA, I'm up in the big city. I'm like, whoa.
That's awesome. How did the opportunity come about? How did you get invited to this?
So I went with a promoter named Wendell Moss. He had been asking me for a while, like, you know, you should do Fashion Week. You should do Fashion Week. And he's been going quite a few years now. And I was like, I gotta work. No, I don't think I'm gonna do it. No, it's okay. He's like, man, I'm telling you, you would kill it. You man, you have what it takes. I'm still, you know, tell you, self-doubt is a terrible thing. But at the same time, my mindset was on, you know, finances, securing, you know, making money, not missing work, things like that. And literally, Craig, at the last minute, really, I was like, he called me and he's like, well, we getting on the bus, we getting ready, you know, I'm about to head down. I'm like, oh, really? I'm sitting in my driveway after I got off work, and I'm like, man, and it was just like everything in me was like, girl, you better go. You don't know when you're going to get this opportunity again. And it's not like I have to go down there by myself. I just felt like, this is your chance. You need to go. And what are you going to sit here after work, watch a movie, Netflix, grab dinner and pass out? You could be in New York. Are you kidding me? So I called him back and I said, Wendell, he's like, what's up? I'm like, listen, yeah, can you leave out about 30 minutes later? He's like, well, what's going on? I said, I'm a go. Oh, girl, you lying. And I'm like, really? No, I'm a go. And in that time frame, I had talked to my mom, and I believe I talked to my mom, my grandmother, and they were like, well, baby, you need to go. What's stopping you? It's a great opportunity. You trust him. You know what I'm saying? I have known him for years. He's a good guy, very wise, and he just has a lot of networking experience, has a lot of connects. And it was also me and a photographer, and I believe two other models. So we, it was like a little group of us. And once I was on board, I was like, hey, let's do it. He left out a little later. I ran in that house, Craig, so fast, the speed of lightning flash, and packed that bag so quick, not knowing what all I would actually need. But I was like, hey, I just take a typical model bag with some extra heels, you know. I was like, let's do it. And it was one of my most spontaneous moves, but I have no regrets.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I mean, just shows the power of, like you said, that building your own confidence, listening to the people around you who do have that experience and who are saying, hey, you got this, you can do this. And then also just taking a chance. I think a lot of us are afraid of taking a chance. It's like, honestly, with starting the podcast, it took me a long time. Like, I thought about starting a podcast a year before I did it. I actually started was because some friends of mine started one at work, and they were like, hey, come on our podcast and just talk. And I was like, this was so fun. I have to go and start mine. Like, everybody has one now, but whatever.
But everybody is not you. This is official.
But one of the things that everybody doesn't have is a fragrance. So Unbreakable, tell me how that came out. That is so cool. So tell me about that.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking about something that would set me apart, because at first I was like, let's just do a fashion line, maybe some jeans or, just t-shirts, just to get my brand, push my brand more. And then I'm like, so I had a guy mention fragrance, and I was like, okay. So at first I started off promoting somebody else fragrance, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. What's stopping me from doing my own? So I started networking, and I, ended up linking up with, I would just say a silent business partner. And basically he, put me onto a chemist who had so many different scents. It was mind blowing, and it took a while. This was a process. So for anybody who's thinking about this, do your research, and really consider, because you have to look at what is marketable, and then also like what is really for you. What do you like? What kind of scents really capture your interests as well as others? So it was a lot of, no, not me. Then let me try that one. Oh, we're getting closer. Okay. What if we mix this and that? So it was just a lot of trial and error to finally we were like, wow, this works.
So you had that much creative control in terms of like creating the scent, like asking the chemist to say,
yes,
hey, mix that. Okay.
Yes, it wasn't just one of those things where it's like, oh, I want to do a fragrance line and hey, make me a good fragrance and put it on the market. No, I wanted to make sure this was absolutely personalized to my liking, as far as, like I said, thinking about what also what's marketable, of course. But it was just like, I wanted something that I would wear, and I would be like, yeah, that you like that? I know, that's me. I didn't want something somebody just created and was like, here, girl, there you go, get my money.
Right.
So yeah, I wanted that thing personalized. So that's why anytime, my fragrance sales, which I have the big bottles now that just came out, and I personalize all of these myself, Craig. Yeah, with the rhinestones and all. Don't judge my free time habits, y'all. We in a whole pandemic. So I can bedazzle my bottles. Let me live. Stay out of trouble. But yeah, so we have the new boxes, if you can see that.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. And I wanted it to be something that I absolutely would wear and wholeheartedly support.
Mm.
And that's exactly what I got. And when we first started, we started with the smaller bottles here. And it was like they sold really good. So people started asking me, hey, when you gonna do a bigger bottle? I need more of that, you know. And I'm like, really? You want more of my fragrance? So I go taking my tail back to my chemist, like, hey, yeah, how soon can we do? We need to do this.
Right.
So you know, we made it happen. Thankfully, next I have a lot of inquiries, believe it or not, about a male fragrance. I get a lot of males inboxing me and messaging me and stuff, and they're like, hey, you know, what about us? When you gonna do something for us? I'm like, well, you know what? Let me go ahead. I get back with you. I'm on it. So I'm excited because that may be the next step. You know, I gotta support the fellas too.
Tell me about
Yeah.
the name Unbreakable. Where did that come from
Oh
for you?
man. So I was sitting with my business partner and we were talking about names and things like that. So being like I mentioned before, I was married. I went through a terrible divorce. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Um,
Sorry to hear.
yeah, just really awful, man. So just going through my divorce, and at the time during the divorce, I ended up leaving. I was a part of a social club as well. Like I said, I tried to find things to do outside of work and, you know, hobbies and network and socialize and stuff, not just try to be so just, you know, attached. Because sometimes we be so blindly in love and it's just like,
Mhm.
I don't need anything, I just need you, boo. And, and sometimes your partner is not all on board for that. They're like, okay, you need to find something else, I'm tired.
Right.
So social club was another thing that he kind of like encouraged, was like, well, you maybe should join the social. I think I will, you know. So I say that to say, during this terrible divorce, I kind of felt like I was losing the support of my social club as well, which really took a damper on things, because it's like, it's one of those things, you know, you learn in life. People, you know, everything's great, everything's good. That crowd will surely follow.
Hmm.
But when, you know, you're down in your luck and life is really hitting you hard, it's really those people who remain there after the fact, you know, when the turn ups stop and, you know, you don't really find yourself out at as many events and things like that. And you just kind of, I became like really closed off. You know, I'm like, I don't party for what? Do you understand what's happening in my real life?
Right.
The last thing I need right now is a drink. Like I know I need to figure out what's my next move, how I'm gonna process this. So in all of that, it was a struggle, Craig, to really overcome. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It was a lot of back and forth in court, things like that, dealing with the divorce. Basically, I had to really overcome a lot of adultery that was done on his behalf, and really like, yeah. So it's like going through that and having somebody really tear your character up and really lie to try to make it seem like it was you when you know they know the truth and you know the truth. It was one of those things that was like, wow. And you know, I married for love. I didn't marry for finances and all the other things. I really didn't consider all that. I married because I genuinely love this person and I thought it would be it forever. So I just had to adapt to, you know, coming out of that divorce and picking myself up and things like that. So when my business partner mentioned Unbreakable, it just stuck,
Hmm.
because I'm like, wow, this is me. This is where I'm at right now. Even when I thought I was really like broken, tore down, could barely look at myself in the mirror without tearing up, I still found a way to come out of that, you know, and it took help from really true friends and really supportive family to really, you know, get me from that dark place. But I realized, wow, I'm not broken, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of, the pieces shifted around. You find a way to, you know, to
Yeah.
rebuild and regroup. And it took some, you know, rediscovering on my end, like my what I like, what could bring me joy, and what really it's internally brought me peace. But that's how Unbreakable came about, because I'm like, wow, I went through a very rough time. And yeah, like I said, the following, the followers, the crowd, it's what you do when you don't have that, and when they're not supporting you in a dark place. It's just like, you gotta, you gotta rely on yourself and your religion and everything else to pull you out, and good people in your corner. And that's what kept me from being unbreakable. Even when I
Love it.
thought I was broken to pieces.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm sorry that you went through all of that, but I'm glad that you've come out of it stronger,
Yes.
and you truly are unbreakable. So that's awesome and amazing.
Yes. Yeah, no regret. It's truly a learning experience. I'll tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, marriage in itself is a learning experience, but I'm sure
Every day, it's a job.
Yeah,
With the right person, it's a wonderful job that you're happy to attend.
Right. What else is going on with you? I saw on your website that you're an aspiring actress. You have any? I know with the pandemic.
Oh my God. Okay. So yes, I actually got asked to do a show recently. And that one, I'm just gonna say, it wasn't for me. It was kind of like a reality-based situation. And I just, from my experience, they can get kind of catty and it's really drama filled. And I'm just at a place right now, Craig, where I fought so hard for my peace. I will not.
Yeah.
I was like, think about this. With a whole counseling degree, my brand is based on empowerment, positivity. I mean, just uplifting. I was like, the last thing I need is for somebody to see me on a reality series, snatching somebody's wig off, or talking about somebody's edges. That's not who I am.
See, but you could have gone up there. You could have created a whole new Miss Valentine. Miss Valentine, the
you know what?
Put people in like, let me explain to you what's wrong with you right now. And therapeutically, this is what's going on with you.
You know me, because we would have diagnosed everybody before the season was over. Right. I would have been sitting there like, you know what? You fit the criteria. I'm just going to be honest, and this is free. I'm going to tell you this pro bono. So I was like, that was the other thing. I don't want to be sitting there assessing everybody on the show, but it was just like, yeah. So I didn't take that opportunity, but I've had Ron Lindsay reach out to me about a model that he's thinking about creating a platform for. So I'm just, that's in the works. I asked him to, get back with me with more details about that and what all it entails. So I'm just kind of waiting on that, me and my manager, to see what all, sometimes you have to really ask people, what are your expectations as far as bringing me on the show, or, how's this going to work? And then, you think about everything going on with COVID and stuff. So it's like, okay, how are we doing this? What safety precautions are in place? You just want to be careful. Yeah, definitely. So that's one opportunity that's kind of pending in limbo. And what else? I did a couple months ago, I did a video. Hit My Line, Jax Barnes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I need to put that on my website. Yeah. But that was really awesome as well. And Focus, actually, James Focus, a good friend from VSU, actually contacted me about being in the main model in the video. Oh, cool. And it turned out really great. I went to Norfolk with my personal photographer, and we drove out there, and we had a good time. And I was just so overjoyed, because the artist himself, he loved the way the video came out, and he was very impressed, one, with my professionalism, and of course, the eye candy. So right. I was happy about that. Sometimes you just don't know. I'm like all natural, so sometimes it's a little hard to compete with some of the other body types that's going on in 2020 and 2021. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, you're like, yeah, I'm impressed. Man, you're wonderful. You're lovely. I'm like, oh yes. It was kind of one of those things where you're like, I still got it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
hit my line. Yeah, awesome video. He's on YouTube as well.
Okay.
And as far as, let me see, that's pretty much it for the acting for now. Like I said, things kind of became a little iffy and slowed down with
Yeah.
with COVID, because you just want to make sure you're not out here being reckless and you're abiding by certain the guidelines and things like that too, while
Right.
you're having fun and being productive. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's awesome. So I'm gonna put link to your website on my
yay.
in the
Yeah.
episode notes.
Okay.
That's Ms. Valentine, MZ
Okay.
Valentine, no period.com. Um,
Yes.
there should be a link to your Unbreakable fragrance on that website, correct? So if people want to get that.
Yes.
All right.
It links directly to it. Yes.
I will definitely be buying a bottle for my wife.
And people can check out. Huh?
I was saying I'll definitely be getting a bottle for my wife so she can check it out. So we'll be definitely checking it out now.
Yay! All
I'll have to
right.
do a review later. So
Yes, yes. And go ahead so I can put you guys on my V-Love customer appreciation slideshow on my website. I try to get pictures and put reviews and things like that on my website, just to just show appreciation and love, because I'm like you said, when you really step out there and you believe in yourself and you build that confidence, it's just amazing where that can take you, along with having your faith intact. I'm just like, wow, people are loving the fragrance. I want to show the world, they're happy with it. I'm ecstatic about it. So I would love to go ahead and put you guys a picture up there, and as one of my customers, and I can't wait to read that review. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. And yes, this is the perfect time too, Craig, because I'm doing a 40% off sale. So the big bottles are on sale and the smaller ones are 2 for $25. So it's an awesome sale going on right now.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good.
And I have oil and perfume spray.
Okay.
So
All right, look
which
at you, Miss
Valentine. Yeah, I'm trying to help you get the cool points. Shoot, what? Yeah, that hubby job is serious.
Definitely. But I thank you so much for coming on. This was really fun. I'm glad that you. I'm amazed and impressed by everything that you have going on. I'm so excited for you and what you have going on. I'm looking forward to continuing to following you and hopefully keeping in better contact. And making sure kind of following your career and see where you go with it. I'm really, really excited for you. This is really awesome.
Thank you. So and also check out my on my website as well. I'll be posting new pics from Vondrake Eyewear. I've been a promotional model for him, so he's awesome. Yeah, his eyewear is the bomb. Like it's really what they say. It's lit. So yeah. I think the bomb gonna expire, but okay, I still.
That's our generation.
We all right. Okay. So yeah, check out Vondrake Eyewear too, and you can check me out on his website as well as a promotional model. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Craig. I'm excited for you as well. I'm just overjoyed that you had me on your podcast. Ow. And I'm wishing you and your family the best in all that you do. Many blessings. Yeah, thank you. I'm very grateful.
No problem. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you for Ms. Valentine for joining us. Please go down to the notes, the episode notes, check out her website, check out that fragrance, support her, support Black business. Thank you for supporting Craig and Them podcast. Continue to support us by following us on Instagram at Craig and Them podcast, on Twitter at Craig and Them Pod. If you have any suggestions, if you want to be a guest, or if you have any questions, please email me at craigandthempodcast@gmail.com. Greatly appreciate you, Ms. Valentine, once again, and we will talk to you all next week.
All right, thanks.